The group of tourists paid a total amount of $2,200 for the admission ticket. So this to the zoo. In the group, the ratio of the number of adults to the number of children to the number of senior citizens was 5:2:3. So by reading this, we know that the first part of this is a total value. This part over here is talking about the number of adults, children, senior citizen in this ratio. This is what we call the quantity, the number of tickets, the number of people who goes for the number of people who are adults, children, and senior citizen. Okay, with the change of syllabus, now P6 then we learn ratio. So for P5, while looking at this video, do take note that what it means is just adults is 5 units, children is 2 units, senior citizen is 3 units. Just remember what you see in ratio is just in terms of units. That's it. Okay, so you can still solve this question with and without ratio. Okay, then the second part of the question goes like this: the ratio of the amount paid for all the children to the amount paid for all the senior citizen. So now they become amount paid. Children to senior citizen is 7:6. So the first ratio given to us, or the first proportion, the relationship given to us was on quantity. The next one here is we went back to total value. So I'm going to write in terms of units so that it can help our P4s or P5s who are looking at this question to be able to understand and still be able to do it, even though they haven't learned ratio. Okay, so children is to adult means children is 7 units, senior citizen is 6 units. Okay, then the second part of the next sentence, the amount paid again, this is also talking about the total value. This is your senior citizen and this refers to your adult. So since it's talking about the same total value, I said before, we will use parts instead. Okay, so it's just the same. And for those who are still at P4, right, you will be drawing in terms of as many as 3, 4, 7, 5, 6, 7. And this one is 6. So 3, 4, and 7. So this one will be 1. And this one will be 4. Maybe a different size because it's in parts. Okay. Oh, yeah. Different size also not very pretty, my sizing. Okay lah, just remember we are referring to different sizing, okay? So this is this and this is this. Okay. For those who are doing ratio, which is my P6, those who are P6, please, you can do this in ratio. And this is talking about the total value. Your children is to senior citizen, and then senior citizen is to adult. So I can combine. But when you combine, please don't write one line, top and bottom. First line represent the first ratio, second line represent the second ratio. So what do we do next? This part here, before what do I do next? I still got one more sentence. The price of the adult is this one. So this is the value of just the adult. So we know that this question requires quantity times value. And by taking out the values itself, right, we know that this part is what we call the repeated item. Okay, so this question is a repeated item plus quantity times value. So I need to do repeated item for this too. By repeating who? Repeating our senior citizen. So this senior citizen is equal to this box over here. This one we need to make the same. How do we make the same? LCM of 6 and 1 equals to 6. You can write it in units, you can write it in parts, up to you. So this one I don't need to change, is already 1 unit each. Yeah, that is why there is 6 units over here. This one box is 6 units, so all the boxes represent 6 units. Okay, so because of this is itself is 7, this itself is 6. This one need to times 6, so this is 6. This one need to times 6, so this is 24. So in terms of model, in terms of units method, this is the model method. This is the units method. So model method, what will happen is I have been teaching my P3, P4, right? Your mini model 1, mini model 2. Then you put your S in the middle and then you draw, correct? So like I told you, when we go up to higher level, it gets harder and harder to draw your model. You cannot be drawing 24 units, correct? And this tells you the total value from right the start. They told you that this thing here is your total value. So all this information refers to total value. The other one, this one is talking about quantity, and the another one more is talking about value. So totally not related. Only the total value, I can put them together, do a repeated item and find the answer. So I have done in terms of units. This is the units method. We have 7 unit, 6 unit, and then 24 unit. You can just bubble it up to represent the final units, or if you're doing in terms of model, this is what you have, and this is the combined model. So if you're doing in ratio, same thing. This one you multiply by 6. So here is 6, here is 24, and here is your 7. So because the question gave you a total, I advise those who are doing ratio, write one more total, count the total number of units here. And then since they say that this is your $2,200, you can just do it straight from here. So with this, you can just do a cross, multiply everything you see by 60. How do I get 60? Is because 37 units. Same for this one. Same if you're using the units method or using the model method, you get 37 unit. And 37 unit is $2,220. 1 unit is 2,200 divided by 37 give you 60. So same thing, your ratio also give you 60. Just that for ratio slightly easier, I can just use one line to represent all four I should say all the 3 items plus the total in one line like this, and call this the total value. And then if you want, you can write a bracket to remind yourself this is the actual amount. Okay, then we are done with the repeated item. Okay, after we are done with repeated item means I already used this portion. Now I also used this already. Now I'm left with this 48 and this quantity. And this 48 refers to only the adult. So for quantity times value for P6, while doing quantity times value table, which I say that this part you can continue quantity times value table. And what you can do is just put things inside first. And then from your table itself, you will have the clue what to do next. Okay, so I would say a table is very useful when you are not very strong in your understanding of the question, right? Sometimes the table can assist you to find the answer. So total value given is $2,220. Usually this dollar sign I'll put on top. And individually I already have the answer, but I make sure I match correctly. Adult, children, and senior citizen. I only have the adult 48. These two I don't have. So this is you add everything up to give you your 10 unit. And you add everything up to give you your 2,200. Okay. So by doing like this, right, you will see that there's only one column. Only this one is here. This one will help you to find the answer. It will help you to find 1 unit. Or just you can multiply first. 5 times 48. 240 unit goes to 1440. And then they want to find the total number of people is 10 units. So 10 times 6. So answer is 60. Okay. If you're using quantity times value table, the quantity times value table is like a summary. Put in the information from the table itself, you'll be able to find the answer. Okay. For those who are still not good at quantity times value table, are still doing what we call the stacking and grouping method. For this case, I don't really need the stacking and grouping because they tell me that I have I will need to go and find anything regarding adult first. Okay. So regarding adult, I have this 24 units. So I go and find this 24 units first. So this 24 units give me 1440. This is what we call the total value. And from the question, I do have the total quantity is 5 units. So let me write on top here. The total quantity here is 5 units. So 5 unit multiplied by the value. This is quantity times value equals to total value. Multiplied by the value is 48. And the total value I found below is 1440. You realize that I am back to the same equation that I did just now. And I'll find the same answer. Okay. So the total units is this one here. I'll find by 10 units, which is 60. Okay, this is one of the typical question that you can see in prelim. One part, first part usually the repeated item. The repeated item can be in this one, the units with one ratio, one fraction, or two ratio, or two fraction, or it can be of the remainder of the different sets or percentage of a set or percentage of remainder. So the first part, repeated item. The second part will be your quantity times value. Quantity times value this is a simple one. They only focus on just one item called the adult. It can be a grouping kind of quantity times value. It can be a stacking kind of quantity times value. It can also be guess and check, which is under the big family of quantity times value. So there are many different ways to test in prelim, depending on what they want to combine in one question. Okay, so that's all.